guys there. Well, yeah, so like I mentioned in my Christmas video, little Christmas intro there, I'm going to be reviewing 2 Krampus movies for you guys this month. The first one that I'm going to be talking about for you guys today is a little film called Krampus Unleashed. Krampus Unleashed is a film that actually just came out this year, and yeah, it's a new Krampus, brand new Krampus film. You know, it's one of those knockoff Krampus movies. And yeah, I looked at the poster for this thing, and I was like, well, I'm going to have to review it. I'm going to have to, because believe it or not, the last Krampus reviews, I reviewed 4 Krampus movies last year, and all my reviews for those movies are actually, they do really, really good. You know, I still get views and comments on them to this day, like, they're doing really, really good. So, for some reason, my channel is very popular, very well known for those Krampus reviews, so I'm going to be reviewing Krampus Unleashed for you today. Oh god, where to start with this fucking movie? Okay, so Krampus Unleashed basically is about, well, it starts off with a group of, I guess, you know, a group of guys just looking for buried treasure, some stupid shit like that. They're looking for treasure, I don't know. And they start digging up this one thing, and then, you know, they find a stone. They find, like, a stone in the ground, and they pick up the stone, and I shit you not, this is what happens. They pick up the stone, and Krampus comes. He emerges from the stone, I guess. I really don't know. I don't know if they made that clear, or if I just wasn't paying attention because I didn't give a shit. I don't know. But Krampus just all of a sudden appears. You know, they unleash Krampus because of the stone. They found the stone, and I guess, you know, they released a curse, and Krampus kills them one by one. And then basically the rest of the movie is following this family. And this family's going to, I want to say, their grandparents' house? I want to say, I already forget this movie. I watched it a couple of days ago, and I already forget it. I don't remember. But they're going to some, you know, some families, some, I don't know. And then there's an uncle and aunt there, and then, you know, they have cousins, and yeah, so it's... So they basically took the plot of this movie, you know, of like a family coming over, them being terrorized by Krampus. That's literally what this is, except done very, very poorly and not as good. And yeah, you're just following this family, you know, just this big family, and you have the grandparents, you have the mom and dad, and then the aunt and uncle, and then the cousins, and then the main kids. You have this big family, and they're in this house, and they're spending Christmas together. And the thing about this movie is, it does not feel like Christmas at all. I know this is one of my complaints for an earlier Krampus movie. I believe it was Krampus the Awakening? I forget. One of those. I don't know. I believe it was that one where it just did not feel like Krampus whatsoever. It did not feel like Christmas whatsoever. Like, there was nothing about it that felt Christmassy at all. And, it's funny because this movie actually opens up with... By the way, it opens up with a really shitty Christmas song. A really shitty version of, I believe it's... I forget which one it is, but the movie opens up with a really shitty cover of a Christmas song, and it's just desert. It's desert. I swear to God, I don't know if this was a joke, or if it was supposed to be a joke, but it's just desert. You know, there's nothing, and it looks hot as hell, and I'm looking at this like, this does not remind me of Christmas. Why the fuck is this happening? And like I said, I don't know if they're trying to make a joke here or not. Like, is it, you know, supposed to be funny because, you know, it's not Christmassy. They're in a desert, you know, and that's where this movie actually takes place. It takes place, like, in the middle of nowhere in Arizona. I swear to God, that's where it takes place. And it's just, nothing about it felt like Christmas at all. It takes place in a desert where it's fucking hot as hell, and, you know, it's dry. And it made me thirsty just looking at it, and I was like, this doesn't remind me of Christmas! And then above all that, you had the really shitty Christmas cover going on, which was really, really shitty. It's probably some, you know, just a friend of the director who was like, hey, I'll record a song for you and put it in your movie. And he was like, okay. So I went into Krampus Unleashed thinking it was, you know, its own Krampus movie. And it is. It is its own, like, standalone Krampus movie, or it's trying to be at least. But, one thing I did not know about this film was that it is directed by Robert Conway. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it should, because this is actually the guy who directed Krampus the Awakening. Yeah, it's just the same guy. It's the same guy. He directed a brand new Krampus film this year, and it's... yeah. Shit, it's Krampus the Reckoning. Sorry, Krampus the Reckoning, not the Awakening. I got that mixed up. Doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, the Krampus the Reckoning. It's from the same guy who directed that shit, Robert Conway. He directed a new Krampus film. And I'm baffled, because it has nothing, I don't know if this is a sequel, or a prequel, or a spin-off, I don't know. Like, it has absolutely nothing to do with the first Krampus movie. Absolutely nothing. It's as if this guy just completely started over and just made a completely different Krampus movie. He's like, you know what? It's like he came to realize, like, you know what? This movie's shit. This Krampus movie I made is shit, so I'm just gonna completely start over and make a brand new Krampus movie. And it's still shit. It's still pretty bad, not gonna lie. I really don't know what to say about this movie. Just looking at the cover, you know what you're getting into, and whatever you think it is exactly what it is, if that makes sense. It's just exactly what you think it's going to be, and there's really nothing else to it. Like, it's honestly just, it's kind of bland, honestly. Aside from a few moments in this movie that were actually pretty damn hilarious. Not gonna lie, there were some pretty funny moments in this movie. And unintentionally funny moments, of course. There's nothing, you know, when they were trying to be funny, it didn't work at all. But, like, unintentionally funny moments, there's a lot of those in this movie. Like, there were a lot of very quotable lines in this film. There's this one character, I think it's one of the cousins, and he's this asshole kid, and he wants to bang his cousin. I'm not kidding. This is a legit thing that happens in this movie. Like, he's really into his cousin. He really wants to bang her. He thinks she's hot, and, you know, he takes these pictures of her, and he does stuff to them, I think. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he does. Point is, this kid, you know, he wants to fuck his cousin, and it's really disturbing. It's like, is this supposed to be funny? And then one of the kids goes up to him and he goes, you know, that's your cousin. And the kid goes, so? In some states it's okay, or something stupid like that. It's just, it's so bonkers, like, it's ridiculous. But yes, the acting is pretty horrendous in this film. I'd probably say the acting is the worst thing about this movie. The acting and the writing definitely are the two worst things about this movie. Actually, I take that, okay, everything's bad. Everything's bad in this movie. Like, the production design, the location, didn't feel like Christmas whatsoever. The acting's terrible. You know, I will admit, it looks, no, what the fuck am I saying? It does not look better than the other Krampus movies. In fact, this might be the worst looking one I think I've seen. It looks like something I could make. Like, you know, like with this camera right here, it looks like something I can make, and I can just go out and make my own thing. You know, fuck it, it looks worse in my camera, honestly. Like, it just looks really bad. And, you know, I'm not blaming that on them, because I'm sure they had a really, really short budget, and they couldn't afford, you know, a bigger, nicer camera. But still, you know, you gotta make it look a little nice. And above all that, the sound is horrendous. The sound is really bad in this movie, unfortunately. Like, it's just, you get that little static, you know, noise, whatever it is. Like, it's really bad. And the picture quality of this film wouldn't be a problem if the sound was good, but unfortunately, both of them suck. So, you know, you have really bad picture and you have really bad sound, and it's not, you know, it just doesn't work at all. It's awful. But let's move on to actually talking about Krampus in this movie. Now, Krampus is, you know, okay, this is really, really just baffling, because in the last movie this guy directed, Robert Conway, Krampus the Reckoning, it was an awful CGI Krampus. It looked like pure shit. Like, it had a tail, it had no dick, it had horns, it looked like a skull. It's just the worst, one of the worst, like, creature designs I've seen in a movie ever. It was awful. And not gonna lie, the moments in that movie where Krampus was, you know, killing people was pretty damn funny and pretty damn entertaining, but, you know, not in a good way. It was shit. But, you know, and there was very few moments of Krampus in that movie, unfortunately. But in this movie, I was shocked to see that he was not CGI at all. In fact, he was all practical. It was the guy in a suit, which, you know what, I appreciated a little bit more than the shitty CGI one from the last movie, because this one, you know, you can tell they put at least a little bit of effort into it, and honestly, flat out honest with you, it still looks bad, but it doesn't look terrible. It's a decent Krampus, is what I'm gonna say. All of the crappy Krampus movies, aside from A Christmas Horror Story, which I really don't count as a Krampus movie, because, you know, he's only in it for a little bit, but aside from that, you know, all of the Krampus movies, all the crappy ones, this is probably the best Krampus that I've seen in all these movies, and that's not saying much, because, you know, they're all really, really bad, but this is probably the best, you know, looking Krampus that I've seen in this movie. And the scenes with him, you know, killing all these people, not gonna lie, they're pretty fun. And in a genuine way, they're pretty fun. This film does have some nice, you know, kills in it. Like, you know, it has a lot of really nice, gory, bloody moments of just him, you know, ripping people to shreds. It all looks very, very cheesy, very stupid, very corny, but it's fun, you know, it's fun. And you can tell the guy is not taking this film very seriously. You know, he's not actually trying to make you scared. He's making a fun, you know, like, little Krampus movie, I guess. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do. Point is, you know, the scenes where he does kill people, it's very bloody, and it's a little bit of fun. There's not enough of that, though. You know, that's really all the movie has going for it, and there's not enough of it. Everything about the movie is shit, you know. From the acting, like I said, the sound, the picture, just everything. It's shit. It's shit! The poster does kind of look a little neat, though. I mean, of course, it's very, very misleading. In fact, maybe not. You know, that's kind of what he looks like in the movie, except he doesn't look quite that good, you know, because they have to make him look a little bit better for the poster, for promotional purposes, but, you know, that's kind of what he does look like, so in a sense, you know, it's not completely misleading, but still a little bit, you know, they still did a little bit of designs, or, you know, did a little bit of stuff to make him look a little bit cooler. I don't know why the fuck Santa's in that snow globe. I don't know why he's holding a snow globe with Santa in it. I don't know what that has to do with the movie. Santa was not in this movie. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, shit, what else to say about it? It's laughably bad. It's still laughably bad, you know. It's probably the best film, like I said, that I've seen of all the shitty Krampus movies, but it's still very, very bad. I want to say it's the most entertaining one as well. Probably the most entertaining one out of all the shitty Krampus movies. Again, not saying much. I would still not recommend this movie to you, you know, for you to watch, like, on a cinematic level. In all honesty, like I keep saying, it's still shit. It's still not good. But honestly, like I said, it's the best Krampus movie out of all the shitty ones, I would think. And this is honestly a really, really fun movie to watch with a group of friends. You know, like on a Friday night, you drink a beer, watch this movie with a bunch of friends, laugh at it. You'll honestly have a pretty good time. It's a fun movie, you know, to laugh at, but it's not a good movie. So yeah, I mean, it's not the worst Krampus movie that I've seen, honestly. It's honestly not. It's actually flat in the middle for me, you know. It's flat in the middle, as, you know, as far as the Krampus movies go. Krampus, you know, this one, it's by far the best Krampus film. Christmas Horror Story, Krampus Unleashed, and then fucking, I don't know, the rest of the three that are just pure shit. It's better than the other ones, is what I'm trying to say. It's what I'm trying to get at. And it's a good time to watch with a group of friends, and it's just one of those movies that's silly, and it doesn't take itself seriously, and you can just kind of tell that the guy, he loves what he's doing. You know, he knows he's not making a fucking Citizen Kane here, but he loves what he's doing. So, yeah, I mean, I guess you gotta give him credit for that. And again, I'm sure, you know, they didn't have, you know, the money to make some, you know, something like this, you know, something really cool. So they, you know, just try to make whatever, with whatever they got, and they did it, you know, they did it, it exists, just watch with a group of friends, you'll have a good time. That's all I gotta say about it. And like I said, the best Krampus, you know, design, they actually put a little bit of effort into this one, which I appreciate, actually, and, you know, he still looks really silly, he still looks really stupid, you know, you can obviously tell it's the guy in a costume. It does have some decent kills, though, but I feel like there's not enough of them, and, you know, that's all the movie has going for it. And there were some moments also with the family that is pretty funny. Of course, in the unintentional way, you know, like I said, with the kid who, you know, is trying to bang his cousin. You know, that whole thing, that whole scenario was pretty funny. And, yeah, it's just a lot of really laughable moments. Oh, and then Krampus also ends up, you know, going to the neighbor's house, which is interesting. They go to the neighbor's house, and, of course, you know, there's a guy and a girl who just got done having sex in a jacuzzi, and they're butt naked. And the Krampus kills the guy, and the girl runs, you know, next door to the family's house, but she has, like, all she has is a bathrobe on. And, you know, she's like, there's some spooky thing. Some spooky thing just killed my boyfriend or my husband or whatever, or my partner. And, yeah, and then they end up calling, you know, the police. And I guess it's a local town because everybody knows everybody. You know, the family knows the sheriff or, you know, one of the policemen. And, you know, they're just trying to go out and, you know, find Krampus and kill him. And God, you know, there's one of the characters in this movie is the phone operator, the 911 operator. She's fucking awful. She's an awful actress, but it added to the movie. It added to the hilariousness of the film. Like, you can tell she just put no effort into her role at all, and it's just so funny to watch, because she's like, I forget what she says in the movie, but it's like such stupid shit. Anyways, I'm rambling on too much, but yeah, Krampus Unleashed is pretty bad. Not gonna lie, it's pretty bad, but out of all the Krampus movies that I've seen, it's the best, aside from this one, you know, and A Christmas Horror Story. It's the best of the really crappy Krampus knockoff movies. It's fun to watch with a group of friends. I wouldn't recommend watching it, you know, as a movie. I wouldn't recommend watching it, you know, expecting anything good, because it obviously isn't. You can just tell by the poster. But yeah, so Krampus Unleashed, overall, I'm gonna give it a 1.5 out of 5. I almost give it a 2 out of 5. Almost give it a 2 out of 5 because, you know, they did put some effort into the Krampus this time, but everything else was just kind of really bad. I don't know. It's a fun movie to watch with a group of friends, like I keep saying, but just as a movie, you know, it's not good. So I gotta give it a low rating, 1.5 out of 5. But yeah, so that's about it for Krampus Unleashed. Like I said, check it out if you like. It's whatever. You know, just fuck it. I mean, fuck. And that is it for my review of Krampus Unleashed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for my review for Krampus 2 Devil Returns. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. And anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye. I need to go take a shit.